A very warm welcome to all the investors present here today. The wait is finally over, the reveal everyone has been waiting for. Without giving away much, I would like to hand it over to our founder, Dr. Mohit. Over to you.
Thanks a lot, Jason. A very good evening to all of you. I would like to thank you today. It is our 11th anniversary. June 5th is when we started in 2015. So it completes our 11 years today. I wish to thank you all for being a part of this journey. It is really overwhelming for the whole team of MarketsMojo to keep creating opportunities and innovations for you. 2015, when we started, we created an innovation that I can tell you has still not been copied. Over the last 11 years, a lot of people have tried, they're still trying, but what we created has not been copied anywhere. And the sheer reason of that is that we tend to move faster than the market. We tend to improve ourselves faster than the market. And it's a very, very difficult task, although you see the result in a very simplistic way. But what we are trying to achieve is a very, very difficult task in the journey of creating wealthy investors, wealthy retail investors, much ahead of institutional investors. That's been a journey, and that's been the opportunity for us. We are playing this opportunity for 11 years. We are going to play this for the next 11 years relentlessly, I assure you, and this is the promise of MarketsMojo on behalf of the whole of team of MarketsMojo. Today, and the start of this 11th year, what we are doing is creating another opportunity that has never been created in the market before. Today, what I'm going to show you and demo to you is something that is completely going to shock you, because this is not something that has ever been done before. And this has been the need of the last 11 years, and we've really tried to give everything that we had to you guys, but there is one missing link, and which is a link which is the whole market has not been able to provide today, and that is what we are going to reveal today. Before I do that, I wanted to share something internal that our team today made, a short 4-minute video they made for us today. And I want you to be a part of it because you're an internal team as well. So we'll play a video that my team played for us today. So have a look at it before we start the whole presentation. Can we have the video, please?
Congratulations to Mohit and Joe and the entire team of MarketsMojo for completing 11 successful years. Here's to many, many decades of more success.
Hi Joyson, congratulations, 11th year, great journey and miles to go. But before I say something else, happy birthday to Mohit. I know last 11 years has been extremely eventful. We set standards for others to follow. No, who would have thought that you can analyze each and every listed company in the country. We did it and others follow. I know we have done a lot of things, but more we need to do. I think hence we move from here. Instead of focusing on speed, I think we should start now focusing on the direction. And if we can do that, I think the life would be more eventful. I know the best is yet to come. All the best.
Hi Mohit and Joyson. Congratulations on 11 years of anniversary of MarketsMojo. I have been in MarketsMojo for the last 7 years and thoroughly enjoying the journey so far. Both of you all the luck for many more years to come and continuing journey with you guys.
Joyson and Mohit on MarketsMojo's 11th anniversary. 11 years of vision, innovation and excellence. Wishing you many more successful years ahead.
Congratulations to the Mojo founders team Mohit, Joyson and Sajida on completing 11 incredible years. Mohit and Joyson started the company with a dream which now has successfully touched many milestones. Wishing the MarketsMojo team all the very best and success in the future journey.
Congratulations to MarketsMojo on 11 years since founding and 10 years since the product launch. I was lucky to be part of the journey for 9 of those years. Watching it grow from an early idea into what it is today has truly been special. Wishing the whole team continued success and an even bigger decade ahead.
Happy Founders Day and a huge congratulations to the entire Mojo team for the last 11 years of successes and all the best for what I'm sure is to be many more years to come. And to my mama and papa, I couldn't be prouder to call you my parents.
Hi guys, congratulations on 11 years of MarketsMojo. Thank you to everyone who's been part of the journey, and I'm very grateful to have experienced it myself as well. And I can't wait to see what's ahead of us.
11 years ago today, my dad and Joyson uncle founded MarketsMojo with a vision, and that vision has become something that thousands of people use on a day-to-day basis. That's not luck, that's hard work and conviction and an undying belief in something bigger than yourself. To everyone who's been a part of this journey, thank you. Here's to 11 more and everything that comes after as well. A very happy Founders Day and a very happy 11-year anniversary to the entire MarketsMojo team.
All right, so that's 11 years, and that thank you a lot. Thanks a lot for all my team to participate in this, and that's a real surprise they gave us today. Now let's look at what we've got today for the launch that I would say that has not been done before in previous years, and this is a big opportunity that we're looking at, and there's a big problem that we are trying to address out here, and I'm going to first talk about the problem because for you to see how big the solution is, you need to see how grave the problem is. With that note, let's start with a quick presentation, a small presentation, and then I want to demo you something, which is something that we are now going ahead and launching for some very serious investors. Let's look at this. Shocking truth. I'm going to today talk about something that together with MarketsMojo we've not been able to change, and that is not just in MarketsMojo environment, but that has been there across the globe. So what is this shocking truth or the problem that we are trying to address today? Let's look at that. So, when we started MarketsMojo, obviously our single aim was to create wealth for retail investors. That's the single aim that we started with. It's been 11 years, we're following that dream, and we will be following the same dream for the next 11 years, I guess, that we need to create wealth for retail investors and not just give gibberish gyan on things, but really handhold investors and make sure that we keep delivering things that will add on to the investor wealth, single purpose, single objective, single vision, single line that MarketsMojo works on. How we wanted to do that, we came across with a score on every stock, buy, sell and hold, advisory portfolios, model portfolios, infinity portfolios, PMS portfolios, all of those things for people to ease their wealth journey, even if they are inclined to manage their own wealth at times or primarily most of the times. The only one expectation that we roamed around is to follow the advice blindly. That is the only thing that our crux of all our webinars together is that we are doing the hard work. We are with you. You just need to control your behavior and follow it blindly. That's all the simple, expectation that we've had from our investors, and the rest we will take care of because we know what we're doing. All that you need to do is just follow that advice blindly. But the big curse of the retail investors that I'm going to talk about today is a very adamant insistence of managing their own portfolio by themselves. This is an addiction that I've seen across all investors when I've met them. Even if we manage a little bit of wealth for them here or there, some people more wealth, but most often than not, people insist on managing their own portfolios by themselves because they feel that it's a subject that they understand, and primarily most of the investors don't even know what kind of returns they're compromising by not following advice, by just making sure that they do it themselves. I have relentlessly tried over the last 5-6 years to get that discipline onto you. We've talked about how the big investors think, what are the behaviors they have. We've talked about bookish knowledges that at the bottom pick up the, invest more, at the top you need to book profits. But investors typically, not just with MarketsMojo but across as well, follow a very, very different way, which is typically their own behavior driven, even if we have the best tools. So you can give the best tools to the investors, but if they don't know how to use it, then it becomes a big problem, primarily because the use of the tool is more important than the tool itself. So, and that is a problem that is, according to me, the curse of the retail investors. Let's just span out and look at the data at the country level. Now, if you look at the country level, this will shock you. 84 lakh crore, and this is a data taken in from NSE. Individual investors' equity. This is not mutual fund. This is not PMS. This is not advisory products. This is what they invest themselves, which is their direct investments basis their own advisory, is 84 lakh crore. In case you can't know that number, that is 51% of the wealth is held directly in stocks, not through any fund manager. So 51, half of the country's retail investor wealth, they like to manage it themselves. And the remaining 49% is where you have, hundreds of fund managers and, AMCs and mutual funds, everybody out there. But predominantly, the majority of the wealth of retail investors, they like to manage it themselves. This is a big data because what it tells you is that when we look at wealth creation journey, the biggest onus is now on to you yourself to generate that wealth, because you want to control what you manage yourself. That is the big takeaway out here. This is a volume number in terms of how much you manage. And let's look at today what happens to this 51%. 67% of the investors are unable to beat the market. The average median return of retail investors, this is the Samco Nielsen survey, the average return of the investors who manage their own wealth is in the range of 4 to 5%. 25% are not even able to beat the FD, and the remaining people don't know the definition of return. Now, this is a real big story, and this is a real big problem. And we've tried to change this problem by trying to give you advisory products and, trying to give you model portfolios, infinity, and so on and so forth. And I'm going to give you some numbers that will tell you how we've failed terribly, primarily because most of the investors typically want to do this themselves. So the objective with which we started going ahead, if this trend continues, then we fail to achieve that objective, because if people fail to follow the advice, if people still believe in managing their own money, then the return is actually in your hand, not at the hand of the experts who you are taking help from. So 67% underperforming, 4 to 5% is the return, average return. Index return has been around 11.5%. So you are underperforming, or retail investors in the country are today underperforming by a big margin. Let's look at what we have on MarketsMojo. So this is a countrywide data. I want to analyze what's happening on MarketsMojo platform. On MarketsMojo platform, the portfolios stored by the investors, that is all our paid investors, are in the range of 60,000 crores. So that's a large sum of money that today we are talking about. 95% of that are managed by the clients themselves. So 95% of the total personal portfolios that are there on MarketsMojo are managed by the clients themselves. And that, I don't know whether that's good or bad, but we'll see some of the numbers that what happens to those portfolios. So today what I'm doing is analyzing not just at the country level, I'm also analyzing at the client level in terms of what's happening within the MarketsMojo community, because now we've given you tools. Let's see how well those tools are being used within the system, because ultimately whatever we do, whatever you do, the end result has to be you have to make money. The end result is always the single line objective of to create wealth for the investors. Whether you do it or whether we do it, it doesn't matter. But what happens when 95% of the Mojo users typically manage their own investments themselves, which is they take buy-sell calls themselves. These are long-term portfolios. The median stocks per portfolio that we've seen is 15. We've got average age of portfolios is 5.4. So these are not short-term 1 year, 2 year portfolios. Average age is 5.4 years. The average value is 9 lakhs. So these are not smaller portfolios. MarketsMojo does address smaller clients as well as bigger clients. The average is 9 lakhs of personal portfolios. Total assets that we've seen is 60,000 crores. After creating these tools, after creating 100% recommendations on all listed stocks, a working model which works for a lot of investors, how well are you using it? Because there's a lot of times where we do challenge performances, where we do challenge portfolio performances, and that is all fine. But if 60,000 crores is on, and I've been doing this research for a bit now, that what is our impact? If my impact is only 5% on the investors, then whatever I do at a 60,000 crore level is not going to make any difference. And I always think about things at a much more strategic level rather than on a day-to-day level in terms of what the performance is on a day-to-day basis. If my impact is on 3,000 crores, what impact will I get even if I grow at 100% for investors who are managing the remaining 57,000 crores on themselves? So one way of looking at it is we looked at all of this data. We did a lot of research on this data to find out what is happening. So I want to today show you at a group MarketsMojo level, combined all investor level, what is happening. The biggest thing that came is the average return of the portfolios is 4.13%. Now that really disturbs me. That has been disturbing me for a while now, that despite creating all of this, and some of you may say we are following the advice completely diligently, we only invest in strong buys and buys, but this is a data you can't dispute because this is the data that's available on my site. 4.13% is the average return across all investors, median return, CAGR. I'm talking 5-year CAGR, right? In the 5-year Nifty is 11.06. So the underperformance is closer to 7% on a 5-year basis. Only 28% of the portfolios listed on MarketsMojo have been able to beat the Nifty 500. So we are not any different than what's happening in the market, but we are much worse in terms of, because we've given these tools, whether people are using it. Whether they're using it or not, I'm going to come and show you some more data on that. But let's move ahead. How many stocks do they on an average hold? 35% of the investors hold more than 40 stocks. In fact, some cases we even saw 70, 80, 100 stocks. So, it's going on. People are buying, putting it in, putting it in without knowing that ye kya ho raha hai. This is not Bitcoin collection. you are managing an equity portfolio, there's only 12% of the clients who have concentrated less than 10 stock portfolio. 10 to 15% is 14%, 15 to 20% is 10%, and the large stacking up happens on more than 40 stocks. So we've repeatedly said that over diversification of the portfolio is not going to yield much return. But when I look at in the same buckets the return of the portfolios, that gives a very different story. So the less than 10 stocks are at a 5.3%, 10 to 15 stocks 7%, 15 to 20 stocks 7.9%, above 40 stocks is 9.6%. Across all baskets, whether you're holding concentrated stocks or whether you're holding diversification stocks, the difference is not that much. So today we've reached a point where whether you're buying smaller number of stocks or larger number of stocks, not making much of a difference. So that is the pain area that I'm trying to address. Then what is the issue out here? If you look at the claim that you guys make, that you guys strictly follow the advice, if I were to just bucket all the stocks that you hold on our strong buy, hold, sell, strong sell, you would know that 67% of your investments in personal portfolios are in strong sell, and hold, which is a very large number. Only 10% is in strong buy. Only 10% is in strong buy. Only 22% is in buy. Why use this tool? Because when we said that we are already doing whatever we are doing to improve the performance of our strong buys, you just have to follow the advice. But 67% of the portfolio holdings today are sitting in strong sell, and hold stocks, which is what disturbs me the most, because here we had decided that you will at least be invested in strong buys and buys, but it is completely contra. Only 1/3 is in buys and strong buys. 2/3 of the holdings of across the 60,000 crores is in sells and strong sells. No doubt that the average return of portfolios is somewhere around 4%. Now what we did was we divided the quartiles and we wanted to see who are the top quartile portfolios and are they doing anything different. If we did that, there are 4 quartiles. The lowest quartile is somebody who's in the negative. Median return is negative. Almost 20% of the investors have negative returns. The second quartile is around 4.5% FD returns. So 12.4% investors have FD returns. The third is the benchmark, 11.4%. So 30% of the investors sit out there. Only 38% of the investors are above 15.7 kind of a return, upwards to maybe some at 30%, 40%, and so on. Now, if you go back to the NSE data, what it said is that almost 67% of the investors don't make money, or their average return is around 4.4%. Exactly the same thing comes here, that 38.7% of the investors only make money, the remaining are underperforming, and the averages across average, including this 38.4, is just about 4%. Now, this is a big pain area. This is what we identified a long time back, and we started thinking of what we can do, because I'm not here to tell you to put your money in Infinity or model portfolio in PMS. I don't think so. Any of my saying is going to result in that, because I can see a 10-year report card out here. If I'm seeing this, I'm only seeing that if I can't change your habit, can I make it better by giving you something that can actually help you do this better? So today, on the contrary of saying that you should be investing in advisory portfolios, and this is the result, that out of 60,000 crores, 95% of the money you want to manage yourself, I'm fine, I'm accepting that. But what I'm trying to do is how can we do this better, and that is the next 11-year launch that we are today doing very, very pertinent. I'm going to show you what we are doing to help you do this better, because I'm not here to change what you want to do. I can only tell you what's good for you. But if you're doing something which is not good, and you're not going to leave it, let me try and make that better. Because I don't want to spend another 30 years trying to change behaviors. So let's look at what we are doing here. The diagnosis that came in: over diversification, obviously poor stock selection, 2/3 are sell and strong sells, underperforming the index. The main thing that came out are number 4 and number 5, no exit discipline, and the courage and the ability to book losses. I have a strong sell stock, kabhi to upar aayega, jab upar aayega to bech dunga, and then the story goes on that I can never sell a stock in losses. If you cannot cut losses in equity markets, you are not an equity market investor. You are not. You have to learn to be ruthless on stocks that are not doing well, cut the losses, book the losses. You cannot just have winners in your portfolio. You have to have losers in your portfolio, because that shows the discipline. So the maximum number, the maximum effect of what I'm showing you today came in with the ability to book losses and no exit discipline. Even it was on profit or in losses, the exit discipline was not there. Now, I have accepted that you guys want to be your own fund manager. I have accepted the fact that you guys want to be your fund manager. So be it. It is an accepted fact. So we are going to ask a different question. How can we do, or what can we do to make you better, at least on the perception that you're a fund manager, without trying to tell you not to be a fund manager? So I'm not here to tell you don't manage your own funds. I'm saying, can I give you something with which you can manage these funds better? The funds that are lying with you, the personal portfolios, can you make this as a better discipline? We have never done this. We have never ever given a glimpse of our IP to our investors. But the problem is larger than the never that we've done. The problem is, whatever we do, if the investors want to manage their own funds, how can we try and make that better? So the real question is, can you really be a good fund manager of managing your own funds? Can you actually have that caliber to manage your own funds better? And today, I'm very proud to launch a completely different offering away from Mojo Professional. This is not a Mojo Professional offering, a completely different offering, which we are calling as Be Your Own Fund Manager. I'm revealing this today. This is going to go live in the next 10 days. Be your own fund manager. And today I'll tell you how we are shaping a product line that has not been done before anywhere in the world, which every retail user can benefit when they are managing their own funds and they don't have the conviction to give it to any fund manager. The large part that sits in your wallet to manage it yourself, can we try and do it better? Now let me tell you what we are doing out here. So if you look at the screen, it shows you some construction, entry, exit, manage, overview. Let me show you what is this offering. You can build a strategy. So today, if you are there and you say that I am somebody who likes to look at small caps, I am somebody who likes to look at ROC, I am somebody who likes to look at only Mojo scores, I am somebody who likes to do anything that you basically choose, you can build your strategy out there, right? This is not a screener, this is building a strategy, because there are entry rules, exit rules, parameters, all that we will ask you in this, that what is it that, who are you? What is it that you're wanting to achieve? So if you build your strategy, the second thing is where the big thing comes is you can backtest whether you are going in the right direction. So you backtest your strategy and you say that, okay, if I was to run this strategy over the last 6-7 years, what kind of a return I could have made, right? You backtest that strategy, and then if you like what you've created, you say मेरे portfolio पे live कर दो strategy. अब ये issue ये है कि strategy you made and you backtested the strategy. It is what you want. Some investors will say मेरे को 10% stop loss चाहिए. Some will say मेरे को stop loss नहीं चाहिए. Some will say that मेरे को 50% पे profit book करना है, 20% पे मेरे को profit book करना है. Lot of factors, and I'll give you a demo today. That I will backtest my strategy and I can then decide and say that ये ठीक हो गया है. I will take this strategy live. When that you take this strategy live, you can either run a different portfolio or you can run on your personal portfolio. Can you believe that? You have to follow it because you created it. You can edit your strategy, you can again backtest it, अगर आपके parameters change हो रहे हैं. But once you set up a strategy, you can actually backtest and you can take it live. Obviously, there are WhatsApp alerts and everything that will come out there, and you can do that. What am I doing here is I'm opening up the IP. For you, I'm giving you an advice engine. Test the advice engine. Do not waste at 4% and sit with your personal portfolios. Make them better, even if you don't want to give 1%, 2% fees. Make them better. If you are people who typically feel that हमको करना आता है, then backtest क्या करना आता है आपको? क्या करना आता है आपको? Backtest it. And then you take it live. Let's take a demo of this and let's go inside and see what is happening. If I get started, it will ask me two things. You need a new strategy or you want to import your personal portfolio out here. So I will first give you a demo of explore new strategy, and then maybe I'll tell you the demo of import a portfolio. So let's say that I start building a new strategy. I'm going to name my strategy, say Mohit Batra. I say I want to start with maybe 2.5 lakhs. We are going to come out with the same for US, UK, Singapore, other countries, but currently the country that is available is India. Now comes the magic where I say how many number of stocks. So I can say, I want maybe at least 5 stocks, but not more than 15. Per stack allocation is fine. Market caps. So let's say that मेरे को large cap में invest नहीं करना है. I will make this as 0. Let's say that I want to invest in mid cap but not more than 20%. I make this 20%. And let's say, I essentially want to invest, so my portfolio should have 80% small caps. Maximum it can go to 80%. There's a little bit of a question on stop buying, that आपको result से पहले खरीदना है नहीं खरीदना है. Let's assume that I don't want to buy 15 days before the result because anything can happen. Fall from high, अगर वो stock result से पहले गिर रहा है, should I buy it or not? If it falls more than say 5% also, I don't want to buy, right? And stale stocks. I can decide which companies I don't want to invest in. I can also look at sectors. I don't want to invest in tobacco, coal, or real estate, or maybe I can say I don't want to invest in the aviation sector. It's not going anywhere right now. So you put a sector gray list and you say save and continue. That's all. That's done. Now comes the magic. You have all the filters that you want. Use what you feel like. You can say here, this is the entry criteria. Which stock should you be buying? So let's assume I can say strong buy and buy only. You can also decide not to use this and use your own parameters or make your own parameters. And I add these two. So it tells me both the parameters have been added. I can also use Mojo score toggle and I can say 60 से ऊपर सब मेरे को stocks चाहिए. So that is my criteria. Then I can look for criteria. Let's assume that I say price to earnings. I need a good company, so price to earning of say 15. But sector का price to earning ज़्यादा होना चाहिए, so I'll take that as 30. Yeah, I do that. Then you can go and decide your technical indicators, valuation multipliers, anything that you want. So you say that I'll go to technicals. I want only bullish, mildly bullish companies. I add these parameters. The more you keep doing it, it will tell you how many stocks are eligible now out of 4,000 stocks. For whatever I have done, currently only 78 stocks on the top here are eligible. So I add these two parameters. Then I say I need MACD, which is bullish, mildly bullish. I needed monthly also bullish, mildly bullish, whatever stringent parameters. Now there are 65 stocks that are eligible. I keep seeing that so that ऐसा नहीं हो कि इतने filters डाल दिए कि stocks zero हो गए. So I've got 54 stocks now. I can go anywhere. I can look at Mojo Dots, for example. I want excellent or maybe I want only good and average companies because I want to create that. I want attractive and very attractive valuations. I add these parameters. I've got 41 stocks now on the top. I add these parameters. So whatever your preference is, you add on the entry criteria, right? So let's move with these parameters and I say save and continue. Now the exit criteria. Do you want a stop loss? So whatever is your stop loss limit, let's assume that I want a stop loss of 15% or maybe I can take 20% risk, 20%. Do you want to do profit booking? Yes, I want to do profit booking at say when the stock goes up 100%, right? A trailing stop, sell when the price falls this much from recent peak. Maybe if it falls, अगर वो ऊपर जा रहा है और उधर से 15% भी गिर गया, तो मैं उसको बेच दूंगा. So I will put a 15% here. These are my exit rules. I can also have exit rules on Mojo rating कि अगर कोई strong sell पे आ गया या sell पे आ गया तो I want to exit, right? And I can have even at a Mojo dot level or I can have my own parameters out there. Once I do that, I say save and continue. It says how often do you want to rebalance? You want to look at this. The system should look at it on a daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis, quarterly, semi-annually, annually. Some people will say that ये मेरा filter चलता है, इसको annual चलने दो. I don't want to look at it. I say as and when, which is on a daily basis. Selection priority. पहला कौन सा होना चाहिए आपका? So you can toggle with the priorities that Mojo score is my first priority, then technicals, then financial trend, then valuation, whatever you've chosen out there. And you say save and continue. It confirms these are all the parameters you put. And now the magic starts because then it tells you that you can. I can't see the full screen. Can you give me the full screen? I can't see the buttons in the bottom. On the screen I can't see. I can see it. So anyways, I am now what I'm trying to do is take this live. Let's say I want to backtest this first, right? You put your parameters and you want to run the backtest. I want to remove, you can here put a SIP as well. You can say that, yes, I want a SIP. I don't want an SIP on this. I just want to run a backtest. You can put your brokerage here and you have a period. This period is from 2019. So 7 years of period. I want to backtest this. You can backtest for a shorter period as well. And you run the backtest. Now there is a major server consumption that happens here because you're going through 7 years of backtest. It normally takes around 1 to 10 minutes, depending on how many filters you put. So as I said, that once you've decided your filters, you can keep testing it, that क्या चलता है, मेरे को क्या चाहिए, what is my risk level, what are the factors that I look at, right? And if they work for you, then you invest basis that. So the backtest is a very, very detailed backtest that happened. This is exactly what I do when I launch a new portfolio. This is what I do when I launch a new portfolio. So that is the power you need to use for your portfolios, because somewhere you are convinced that you can manage it better. If you are convinced you can manage it better, you better use this and try and make it better for yourself. Because once you know that your results are out, now my backtest is almost done. It is fully backtested. Now I want to see the results. So I invested 2.5 lakhs on 1st of Jan 2019. Portfolio value is today 20 lakhs. Portfolio returns is a 32% CAGR, 700% versus BSE return of 12%. There are 9 holdings plus there is a cash of 1,492 today. Let me see the graph. If that works, it tells you what worked and what is not working. It was beating the market by a wide margin. Strategy grew 32%. The market grew only 13% over the last 7 years. Extra return was not just from taking bigger risk. So the unit of risk you took is lesser, but it earned twice the sharp ratio. It earned twice the returns. It went up more than it went down. So the strategy rose 65% of the months. And the best year it gained almost 118%. And whenever it falls, it recovers. The things that did not work for the strategy, it did not beat the market every year. In 2 out of the 7 markets, it did not beat the market, it lost money. The value swings more. It has seen large falls. The maximum drop has been 38% during the COVID 2020 season. You could have stayed invested during that fall that big, and it holds only a few stocks. That is because I chose that it should hold a few stocks. I can see periodic returns, I can see calendar returns, I can see my risk parameters, I can see relative to the index how it is done, extreme days, best day, worst day, best month, worst month. And it gives me my current holdings. Right? It gives me the market cap allocation. 81% today is in small cap, 18% is mid cap. I had said nothing in large cap, so it's given me 0 in large cap, and the cash is so much. And obviously you have your, it also gives me performance across market phases. Pre-COVID में कैसा चला, COVID में कैसा चला, post-COVID कैसा, 2022 correction में कैसा चला, and bull run, bear run, how it ran. Top contributors, if I look at Tata Elxsi, it shows कितना मैंने invest किया था, कितना realized profit हुआ Tata Elxsi में. Maximum money that I lost was in Paradeep Phosphates here. If I click on it, I lost 11% return in Paradeep. It will tell you when all I bought that and sold that. All of that is a part of this particular backtest. Worst sector, best sector, everything is out here. Now I have, can I have the screen? I have 2 things I can do. I can keep doing this backtesting till I get the right formula. The formula that fits me, right? Because मेरा loss capacity अलग है, risk capacity अलग है, profit booking capacity अलग है. Whatever is my capacity, I can keep doing it. Once I'm convinced, it's your strategy. This becomes your strategy. You have selected the strategy. You have tested this strategy. You are married to this strategy. You are going to follow it because it is your creation. That is the objective. The objective is to manage your personal portfolios better. If I like these returns, I have 2 options. I can either run another backtest and run multiple backtests to see which one is a better return. So multiple, I can keep back testing it, or I can take this live. When I take this live, it becomes my strategy. So now I am going to try and take this strategy live, which means I'm ready to invest now. So can I have the screen? Take live, deploy real capital. Yes, I want to now deploy real capital on this. I'm happy with the strategy. It gives you the immediate orders today that you need to invest that 2.5 lakhs. You see all of that and you say, okay, you can reject an order as well, and it'll give you another. So you can reject it. But let's assume if I say accept all orders, and then I can say proceed and take the portfolio live. You have your portfolio, you made your portfolio, and you've taken it live. You can then obviously edit. In the edit option, you can put in the exact quantity that you bought, the average cost, and so on and so forth, and you just save that and manage it. Now this is an amazing tool because nobody, not even the fund managers, have this tool. We made this tool because we are in the awareness and understanding that a lot of investors really want to manage their own wealth. So give them a tool with which they at least know if they manage it in their particular way, there is some science involved out there. Manage it in a way that you feel convinced about it. You can edit your filters at any time. You can say, abhi market kharab hai, to mujhe stop loss 10% pe chahiye, mujhe profit booking niche chahiye. You can keep doing all of that today I want to have. So, you know, a lot of you, when I meet you, are almost, you all talk to me like experts, but you don't have a formula to try and define what works or what doesn't work. And this exactly does that. It makes you a better portfolio manager for your personal portfolios. That's what it does. Now let's look at another journey, which is the pricing journey that we are today talking about. If I go back to home, get started. Now let's assume that I want to import my portfolio, and I'm begging you, please use it. You are importing your portfolio and trying to figure out what you can do to make your portfolio a better portfolio, right? So import. You can import from any of your brokers directly, or you can say, I want to go for a upload import option. You can do a CAS upload, you can do a CSV file, you can do a manual entry, you can do anything that is comfortable with you to upload. I uploaded a portfolio, it will read your CAS statement and it will give you your portfolio. Now if you look at this portfolio, it is a real portfolio which is 8,42,000, 16 holdings. Mojo score on an average is 29. If you look at portfolio IRR, it is just about 4.8%. If you look at the Mojo score description, strong buys are limited. You have large holdings in hold, sell, strong sell. You can look at your holdings out here. Whatever holdings have been imported. You can look at the sectors that you have. If there's an over allocation into a sector, in this case it's banking, the small cap is over allocated at 68%. Now what you can do is आपने जो भी backtest की थी strategies, you can adapt one of those strategies on it. This is the one I backtested right now with you. You can adopt that, or you can adopt this, or you can adopt this. Or what you can do is you can build new rules for this particular portfolio that you have. You say that मैं अपना personal portfolio किस rule से चलाऊंगा? कुछ तो rule होगा, because ये tips तो चल नहीं रहे हैं. ये 4.5%, 5%, 6% is not acceptable. What is my preferences? I have backtested one strategy. Can I apply it on this particular strategy? Let's assume that you've adopt a ready strategy or you build a new strategy. You can do both. Let me go and first build a new strategy. If I start building new rules, I again go and start those building rules. And if I don't want to do that, I can obviously go and I can adopt a particular strategy. And if I were to adopt a brilliant strategy that I have backtested on this, let's assume this, or maybe a growth aggressive strategy, mid-cap momentum strategy, whatever I adapt, it will tell you what that strategy is, what rules you have in that particular strategy, how you're going to follow it. It will align how it will align. It will basically tell you here that you have to keep 7 stocks don't fit. New buys that you can add are 5. It will tell you why you're selling these, because आपने loss booking trigger लगाया तो कई Suzlon पे loss booking लग गया, Paytm पे loss booking लग गया. Some of these are sell, profit booked. There are new buys that it will suggest you. All of this you can do, and it will then apply those rules and tell you that you need to sell this, accept the sales and the new buys that are there in the portfolio that you are choosing to adapt to, accept all, and you proceed, and it is balanced your portfolio. Now, once it's balanced your portfolio, it is telling you that from today I'm starting to balance the portfolios on my rules. Your current value is just activated 8.42 lakhs, cash available so much, XRR because you imported your portfolio still 4.8%. Today's PNL, if the market is open today, then it is 0.26 positive. Next rebalance is in 12 days. You can go in and you can see if I want to deploy the cash of 1.42, I can say generate advice for the balance cash also. I want to go in. It gives me stocks. And you go and make your portfolio. You have your holdings here. Whenever there is a transaction, the system will warn you that basis those rules, there are transactions. You can edit the rules as per your convenience. Be Your Fund Manager is the latest offering that we've got. It's a very, very detailed strategy builder. It is the advice engine that we've been using, that we are giving you, primarily to make sure that you use it for your personal portfolio. We are incurring a lot of cost on this, lot of risk on this, and we are going to build it as a separate product priced separately. The risk that we build up is that people can filter on scores. People can filter on Mojo parameters. There are 2 costs that are involved in this. Every time you backtest, the system consumes a lot of data and it incurs a server cost. And when you take a strategy live, today, for example, we have only 8 strategies live in the universe of MarketsMojo, right? We have 5 infinity strategies and we have 3 model portfolio strategies. Those are the strategies that are live. But users can create multiple strategies and take it live, and we have to monitor each and every strategy on a day-to-day basis and tell them that this is the result of that strategy. How are we going to price this particular model? We are going to do a very, very selective adaptation to this particular model. I'm not sure whether people are going to use this in the correct way. So the way that we are launching this is there are 3 plans: the basic plan, the pro plan, and the enterprise plan for IFAs if they want to launch it. In the basic plan, you can have you can have 1 live portfolio, whether it is your personal portfolio or a new portfolio. You can do 10 backtests in a year. We will give you 2 suggested strategies. We'll say, ye hamari taraf se gift, take these 2 strategies that we backtested that can work well for your portfolio. You can adapt those strategies as well. Notifications, alerts are there. Except the Mojo score, all other filters are available. There are only 100 investors we will onboard first in this because we have to test this out. The 100 investors, as soon as the 100 investors come in, we will shut down this particular plan. In the Pro, which is people who have larger amounts of AUM and people who manage larger portfolios, larger number of portfolios, that pack is for 50,000 a year. We are only onboarding 50 investors out there. you can manage 3 portfolios. You can take live 3 portfolios, and those 3 portfolios will be unique to your requirements. You can do 50 backtest in a year. So that's a large amount of backtest you can do. We will give you 5 pre-suggested strategies. So these are ready-made strategies that you can adopt to your portfolios, or you can allocate money to it, whatever you want. Notification alerts, all parameters are on filter. You can use everything. That all is there. And the last one is the enterprise version, where we are pricing it at 1 lakh right now. This can go up to even 5 lakhs because we don't want this to be a mass product. In this, you can run 25 portfolios, unlimited backtesting. You can keep doing backtesting. Unlimited backtesting is available out here. Suggested strategies will give you all our suggested strategies. You can see the returns and you can adapt it. And you have notifications. Every single thing is open for the enterprise, but you can only manage 25 portfolios. In 50,000, 3 portfolios, and in the first one, 1 portfolio. So that's as big was MarketsMojo, as big is Be Your Fund Manager. It will be launched under us. Currently, it is in development process, aim to launch in the next 10 days. Once we launch it, you can look at the subscription pre-booking today. I think Jason has already put up the link, but we will stop at 100 seats, 50 seats, and 10 seats respectively. We will not take more than 100 seats in the basic plan. We will not take more than 50 seats in the pro plan, which is 50,000 rupees. And we will not take more than 10 seats right now in the enterprise plan because of the server restrictions that we have. We have to extend our servers on this. My objective out here is a big reveal of our advice engine that we're doing to you, where you can create your own strategies, but for heaven's sake, have a system that guides your portfolio journey. You can create a new portfolio, you can upload your existing portfolio and have it managed out there. Whatever you do, have a guidance and it will tell you. And once you backtested over 6-7 years, you have to sit quietly, because something that has worked over the last 7 years in different, and we've been in worst cycles, you have to be patient. You have to see how much has been it drawn down, how much it is gone up from the bottom. All of that data is available. All you have to do is now follow the discipline which you created for yourself. I have not created this discipline, although we will give you some pre-made strategies, but the discipline you can change. You can edit rules, you can change कि market tight लग रहा है तो मुझे profit booking करना है, अभी tight नहीं लग रहा है तो मुझे profit booking नहीं करना है, अभी मेरे को loss booking करना है. All of those parameters are today available across some 60 parameters that you can filter and add. The current piece out here is only for India. The price also includes when we launch global portfolios. So you will be able to create a US portfolio, a Singapore portfolio, UK portfolio, whatever you may want, in the same cost right now. This is an introductory cost pricing that we've done for our 11th anniversary. I am not willing to give this at the same cost when we launch, because I think that I have not done a proper cost estimation on this. We may end up spending more than what we are taking out here. And that's the reason we are only committing to 150 and 10 seats across these 3 sections. With that note, let's go on to Q&A.
Okay, before I start off, a lot of investors are actually wishing you a happy birthday, Mohit, so if you can reply to that.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, it happens to be my birthday as well today. Thank you so much.
Okay, I'll start off with some of the questions we've got on this product. This one by Raj. How will the tool help me decide that it's time to churn my portfolio, which stocks to include my portfolio, and when to do so?
Once you've set up your entry and exit rules, the tool works on its own, Raj. It will tell you that because of these rules, today you need to churn your portfolio, today you need to sit in cash. All of those rules that you've defined are, and you choose as less rules as possible, basic, because you have Mojo rules, you have another 60 parameters, valuation parameters, growth parameters, you can put ROC. For very evolved investors, you can use as many tools as possible. Just keep watching how many companies are being selected in those parameters, right? Once you've set your rules, the system will tell you when to churn a stock, when to get out of a stock, and what next stock you need to get in. Because it's an advice engine. What you made is you made your own box. And once you define the rules of your own box, the box itself will tell you when to churn and when to get out. You don't need to, you will get a WhatsApp that bases your rules, this stock is going out. Now you need to get out of that particular stock and you need to follow that, right? If you don't follow, then it will also tell you that आपने follow नहीं किया था, इसलिए इसका return कम हुआ. So it will also give you a virtual portfolio basis your rules जो आपने back test किया था उसका performance क्या और आप कितना follow कर रहे हो. But that advice engine is customized to completely your requirement. You can play around and create. You can say that मेरे को सिर्फ high ROC कंपनी में इन्वेस्ट करना होता है, हाई ROC डेट फ्री कंपनी में इन्वेस्ट करना होता है, मुझे सिर्फ स्ट्रॉन्ग बाइज में इन्वेस्ट करना होता है, मैं जैसी स्ट्रॉन्ग बाय से बाय में भी आता है तो निकल जाता हूँ. सो यू कैन डिसाइड वट एवर योर रूल. वंस यू सेट योर रूल, द सिस्टम वर्क्स ऑन इट्स ओन एंड इट गाइड्स यू.
We're getting a lot of questions by investors is that are these charges on a yearly basis? Will I be able to use this for the whole year?
Yes, these charges are on a yearly basis and you will be able to use it on a yearly basis. So once you put in like in the most apt plan actually is for if you're a serious investor, if you're a smaller investor, take the basic plan. But I think if you're somebody who's a serious investor, take the pro plan, which is 50,000 rupees. The cost may seem like, अरे ये तो बहुत ज़्यादा charge हो रहा है, लेकिन there is a lot of server cost. What you're basically creating is a Bloomberg terminal for yourself. You understand what you're doing out here is because the system is in that you can run, three portfolios. 3 portfolios, 50 backtest. You can apply anything to that, and you can keep managing that. So, but it is an annual cost.
Okay, moving on to this next question. This is by Raj Vijay Rai. Does the backtesting report also have details of my transactions?
Absolutely. Full transaction history will be there. What you did, it will also tell you immense amount of data. It will tell you what you sold and where you lost money, where you made money. Very soon we will introduce a tax section as well. So that it will tell you that इस पे long term अभी लगने वाला है और long term लग गया है. Now you can get out. So all of those things will be there very soon in the next editions we keep doing. This is the first launch that we are doing. The actual launch will happen in 10 days where this will go live. We are only taking pre-bookings today. So once you book this slot, we will close this out and we will deliver the product. And obviously then as you use it, you will say that अरे मेरे को 4 पैरामीटर और दे दीजिए. We are also trying to build a AI in that where you say that मेरे को high ROC कंपनी कैसी चलती है वो बताइए. So it will tell you ऐसी चलती है, कितना उसका देना पड़ता है, अच्छा ये लगा देते हैं. So all of those tools we are going to build in, which will be a part of this.
Okay, moving on, we got this question by Sameer. Fantastic tool for the initial position and backtesting insights. 2 questions. Is this only for India markets or across global universe? Also, is there any tool or alert for SIP or tranching? Example, add on a new weekly, daily, high or basis or channel, etc.
So currently we are launching it for the Indian markets. This price includes the launch of the other markets as well. So the other market portfolios maybe will be launched in a month's time, but this pricing includes that. So that's number 1. Yes, the system has the capability of you defining SIPs in this. You can have system defined SIPs के मेरे को हर week invest करना होता है 10,000 रुपए for example, तो बताओ कहाँ करूँ. वो उस हिसाब से आपको बताएगा कि this is the 10,000 rupees. You can just add 10,000 rupees. You can do monthly, quarterly, whatever it is. You can also say मेरे को on a certain date I want to do SIP. So it will tell you that on that day what you need to buy. So all of that is something that is included in this. You can do rebalancing also. Some investors feel that मेरे को buy and hold चाहिए, आप मत उसको rebalance करो. It will go on. If you say मैं 6 months में एक बार rebalance करूँगा, that is possibility. If you say मैं हर daily rebalance अपने आप system करना चाहिए, the system can do that as well. What we will also do is give you, because you are at a starting understanding of this product, we will also give you some ready-made list. कि ये देखिए ये वाला set of rules are working very well. अगर आपको सीधे उसको adopt करना है तो you can adopt those rules as well.
Okay, moving to this next question. This is by Kinson. I'm not sure why he's put it. Mohit sir, all this is fine. Do we also have a regenerate button? Thank you.
Yes, you do have a regenerate button. It's your favorite button. It is the button that I hate and you love the most. Yes, it does have a regenerate button. You can regenerate. You can also edit your rules anytime. You can say, ये थोड़ा अभी ये मार्केट सिनेरियो खराब लग रहा है तो मेरे को थोड़े रूल्स एडिट करने हैं, यू कैन एडिट द रूल्स एज वेल. अब मैं सिर्फ स्ट्रॉन्ग बाय खरीदूंगा, मार्केट बहुत तेजी में, मैं होल्ड तक लेके स्मॉल कैप्स या माइक्रो कैप्स ले सकता हूँ, या मेरे को अभी सिर्फ लार्ज कैप क्वालिटी वाले चाहिए, मार्केट खराब हो रहा है तो मेरे को सिर्फ हाई क्वालिटी एक्सेलेंट क्वालिटी स्टॉक्स ओनली चाहिए, या जिसका आरओसी सबसे ज़्यादा है. यू कैन डू ऑल ऑफ दैट, बट यू डू गेट योर रीजनरेट बटन.
Okay, this question by C.S. Srihari. Earlier you introduced personally managed funds, but you are suggesting for ourselves to manage now.
आपने कहाँ किया सर? The reason I 60,000 crores में से 57,000 crores is still managed by the investors themselves. So my still advice would be to invest in infinity portfolios, model portfolios, PMS, right? But I'm telling you, you're not going to do that. Most of the investors what they do is that मेरे पास इतना है, आप इतना इन्वेस्ट करिए. सो जो मेरे पास इतना है, जब तक उस पर पैसा नहीं बनेगा तो इतने इन्वेस्ट पे पैसा बना के क्या होगा? सो दिस इज द 51% ऑफ द रिटेल इन्वेस्टर्स इन दिस कंट्री आर इन्वेस्टिंग ऑन देयर ओन एंड दे आर लूजिंग मनी. This tool can revolutionize those investors who want to manage it, because एक बार जिसको खरीदने बेचने की आदत पड़ जाती है वो पैसा नहीं देता है किसी को, देता है तो छोटा देता है. In our system, 5% money we manage and 95% you manage. So even if I spend another decade with you guys, I will be able to take that 5% to 10%. But 90% you will still manage. So I may as well attack that problem, because our objective is for you to make money. Whether you make it yourself, whether I make it for you, I think that is not the difference. And that is the reason I have opened up my advice engine for all investors to come and say, and I'm telling you, this is not going to be हमारे पास 50,000 investors. I will stop at a point, because we don't want this to become a retail product. In fact, outside of MarketsMojo, we do not want to even sell it to outside investors, because we want to be within our community of people who want to have real requirement of building personal wealth.
Okay, this next question. This is by Jacob. Happy birthday, Mohit. Is there a provision to start basic, and if we can upgrade to other levels once satisfied?
Yes, you can do that, but basic only you can activate one portfolio. Say you can do backtest, आप 10 backtests are allowed. Active, उसमें क्या होगा, जब backtest करेंगे तो आपको आज के stocks नहीं मिलेंगे कि मेरे को अगर आज invest करना है तो मैं क्या करूँ. So you have to take the portfolio live. Once you take the portfolio live, you will say, अच्छा, these are the stocks I need to, and then every day it will start rebalancing. It will start working on those rules. So you can do it. My frank opinion is for all investors is to go with the pro plan, because you get 3 portfolios at least, and you have 50 backtests that you can keep doing out there. And you know, if from there you want to migrate, if you like it, you can migrate to the enterprise edition. For and enterprise is for, you know, large families. मेरे पास 5 portfolios हैं, 7 portfolios हैं, or maybe I want to manage 25 odd clients in this. But my sweet spot out here will be the pro package, which is the 50,000, which has got 3 portfolios you can take live, and we'll manage it for you. Your advice engine will manage for you. There will be 50 backtest, 5 suggested strategies will be there, and rest everything is available out there. One of the only things that is missing, which is a big parameter missing on 25,000 package, that before you even go ahead and buy it, you should know that Mojo score filter is not available in that.
Yes, Mojo, getting a lot of questions, and Arbindra has written, need a bit clarity on the missing Mojo score in the cheapest plan. Can we know why this is excluded?
We've excluded this because, you know, that is the main IP on which we are doing it, and we do not want to give away cheaper. So that is as simple as that. All the other filters, aap quality pe filter, valuation pe filter, you can do technicals pe filter, you can do all those filters, but Mojo score filter will be available only in the Pro Pack.
Question by Atul, per portfolio cost is 25,000, 16.67 and 4K across the 3 schemes. It looks like enterprise has an unfair advantage also.
It does. Yeah, you're right, absolutely, because that is 25,000. Now, one of the things that happens here is that इस पे AUA फीस नहीं है. आप जितना पोर्टफोलियो, इसमें 5 करोड़ का पोर्टफोलियो भी मैनेज हो सकता है, 10 करोड़ का भी हो सकता है, और 50 लाख का भी हो सकता है, और 50,000 का भी हो सकता है. So, you know, you can, the problem with you guys is that आप लोग AUA फीस को रिस्पेक्ट नहीं करते हो. लाइक अरे तो 8% 2% ले लेगा, आई कीप गेटिंग क्वेश्चंस दैट अरे यार थोड़ा कम कर दो उसको. सो दिस इज फॉर इन्वेस्टर्स हु से दैट ठीक है यार इसमें मेरे को 50,000 1 लाख रुपए लग रहा है, मैं इसमें अपना पूरा पोर्टफोलियो मैनेज फॉर आई एम सेइंग फॉर लार्जर इन्वेस्टर्स. फॉर स्मॉलर इन्वेस्टर्स 25,000 इज अ ग्रेट स्ट्रैटेजी, वन पोर्टफोलियो. But one portfolio can also be a 1 crore portfolio, can be a 5 crore portfolio. There is no AUA pricing out here. There is no KYC out here. The only thing that we will restrict is that one portfolio you can take live, in the other one 3 portfolios, and the third one 25. According to me, enterprise is underpriced. And what you're saying is right. And maybe there's only 10 seats, we'll give it at 1 lakhs. But after that, maybe we'll reduce it or we will remove that package because it's 25 is too large number of portfolios that we're giving just for 1 lakh. It's got an unfair advantage, you're right. We'll need to increase that or remove that pack.
Okay, well, that's it with the Q&A session.
All right, thank you. I hope you enjoyed today. Thank you so much again for our 11 years of togetherness, and here's to the next 11 years. And I hope as successful as MarketsMojo been, be your fund manager would sit as the crown on MarketsMojo. Thank you so much.